Boom. Okay, so we are recording. This is wonderful. Thank you so much, Louise. You have won my little challenge,
So
and
excited.
it's exciting. So we don't know each other,
Not at all.
not at all. So you just follow me on Facebook.
I do, yes. I'm
Oh,
absolutely fascinated.
mm,
I'm a bit of a novice, but I'm trying to learn.
okay, so my challenge is to do this in 45 minutes because I already offer this on my site for double the price, and it's an hour and a half to 2 hours. So I'm
Hmm.
going to try my hardest to not go too deep, because normally when I do readings, I only take people who have already had a natal reading, and so we're going to just dive in without doing a natal reading. But what I am going to do is I'm going to look now at what's going on in the sky right now, because whatever's going on in the sky right now, you will see there'll be some big thing going on with your chart. I'm a sidereal astrologer, but I don't include the 13th sign. So I'm really an alchemical astrologer. I don't base astrology on the sun. I'm not a tropical astrologer. That means that I'm interested in where the planets are, in what signs, not on, keeping the sun always at zero equinox in Aries, because now, although the sun will always rise on the equinox date, that's no longer Aries, which is there. We're now at the end of Pisces. So this will blow your minds, because
Hmm.
you will have thought, yeah, when's your birthday? The 15th of August. Okay, so you thought you were Leo, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, you do have strong Leo, but you're not a Leo. So you're just going to sit back. I'm going to look what's going on, and I'm going to look at your charts. I'm going to see what I feel is going on, and then when I've done that, you can tell me how correct I am or not, and then you can confirm what I'm feeling, and then give me a little bit more feedback and tell me what you would really like to know, and then we'll do the cards.
Okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
darling? And I'll
Yeah.
try to keep our faces here a little bit. Can you see the can you see the screen?
Yes.
So can you see the sky here? Can you what can you see exactly?
I can just see you in your room. That's all.
Okay, well
Yeah.
then
That's.
we need you to be looking at the screen. So let's share. Right. So now you can see my screen.
I can.
Wonderful. And I'm just going to see if I can make you a little bit bigger, because you're looking very beautiful.
Oh.
Uh, I know I can't. Well, that's okay. I'm going to leave that here. So you have come today as Jupiter is hovering in suspension after 4 months of going retrograde, and there's that moment where he's going to move forward. Jupiter is your personal Jesus, Father Christmas. He brings luck, he brings faith, and he is who rules us in our lives until we get to about 45, 50, and then we should have created our own belief programs, our own little inner religion, our own ideologies, our own faith, and then we're under the influence of Saturn. So that's why old age can be difficult if you
Mm.
haven't built a good Jupiter. Um, so now let me just, right, if I got, yeah. So in the sky right now, we have got what I've been talking about, this very big conjunction of Saturn and Neptune. There's Neptune. It's looking very small. So Saturn is now moving away, and Neptune is going to spend 15 years in the unconscious collective. This is a rather scary area. I'm all of this energy. This is the moon card in tarot. This is the unconscious collective. This is your fears. This is your illusions. And it's the age we're leaving. So Venus is considered exalted in Pisces because Venus is all about your aesthetic values, your self-worth, your finance, your love, your relationships, your money. And Pisces, if you have a good faith, belief program ruled by Jupiter originally, Pisces, you can manifest. All this manifest stuff going on means that you can tune into Pisces, and you've got through illusion and you've got through fear. But those people who are still holding on to old belief programs that don't work and fantasies that aren't real, because Saturn is all about reality. Saturn is back to life, you know, back to reality. You will actually will have Saturn yourself in Pisces. So this is very good that you've come. You are coming up to your Saturn return. That means every 29 years you have Saturn takes a cycle, and so you're on to your third chapter at the moment. You are going to have Saturn here, or you might just have it in Aries. Actually, you're just the generation after. No, you're going to have Saturn in Aries. So you're getting ready to start. You see, this is the end of the wheel. Pisces is endings. It's where we transcend the material realm, and Aries is the beginning. And so you've actually got, you will have Saturn there, 1969, right? So this is your period between now and your Saturn return, where you have to get through your illusions. Okay, so that's the big thing going on, and that's making a little capstone, that conjunction with Pluto in Capricorn and with Uranus in Taurus. So that makes this little triangle, which is like the, you know, that is the peak at the top of the tree of life. This is really where we find that cosmic mother. She's the top of the tree, and that's why they keep talking about Romulus and Remus, because Jupiter, the original ruler of Pisces, is right in between the twins, the lovers, Romulus and Remus, the children of the cosmic mother. And he is currently just hovering in suspension right on top of Sirius. That was the whole Jim Carrey thing, remember, from the Truman Show. So that's what's going on. Where is the moon? The sun is right in the middle of that Vesica Pisces, because as we close the wheel from full expansion, there are three crosses. You see mutable, fixed, and cardinal. So here we've got a mutable sign, fixed sign, a cardinal sign. We are now ending a whole cycle. So the wheel will have opened in Sagittarius. That's why when you have the Leonardo da Vinci man, he's like that, spread out, full expansion. And now we're coming back to the fixed St. George's cross. That's why England's got this. Is St. Andrew's cross. That's closing. And we're going to come back onto the middle path, back into this fixed cross. So there is the sun for your reading. Right in this, every time we end an age, every 2,500 years, it depends, about the sun moves 1 degree every 72 years and 72 degrees every age. So we've got the sun today right in that place, which is between, this is the world within worlds, this is Narnia, this is the gap, this is the passage from one world to a new world. And here's little Mercury, he's doing his retrograde right in that Narnia gap, right in that little between two worlds. And you see, we did have Venus next to Mercury. She's now moved on, exalted in here. And today Mars is on the true third eye. We call this the true third eye because there are 4 evangelists, 4 fixed stars in the sky. So Formahold Aquarius should now fall onto the equinox, and that should open our third eye. So today, for your reading, Mars, the root chakra, is on the Lamb of God, and Mars originally rules Aries, which used to be the Lamb of God. Aries used to be that 0 equinox point that mainstream astrologers still say is, but we're actually at the end of Pisces, and when Aquarius hasn't yet fallen onto the equinox. We're not officially in the age of Aquarius yet, but when Aquarius does, it will be this star that brings us in. So that eclipse we just had, the moon was in Leo opposite. Now, why is that not moving as I like? So opposite Aquarius is Leo. But that's enough. We'll just look at the moon because I don't want to go bore you with all that. The moon right now is in Antares in Scorpio, and tomorrow we're going to have the last quarter moon, and it will be on that sting, still in Scorpio, on this 13th sign. You see, they've created this 13th sign that does not exist. It's just the tip of the Milky Way, and it's the snake that should, the Milky Way is just a big snake, so it should be where the north and the south hemisphere meets, and we end the cycle. So that's why this is the Golden Gate. This is the Golden Gate over here, the southern hemisphere, and on the other side we've got the Silver Gate where we've got Merlin. You see the Milky Way runs through here. Okay, we're off to you. I've already got where you are born, so your chart is all waiting. We're going to put the 15th of August 1969 at 10:15. 1969, the 8th. Oh, is that right? Yeah, the 8th, the 15th at 10:15. I put 10:15 because you told me 10:30. Okay,
Yeah.
so here you are in the sky, and we're just checking because when I get to the chart, it's not always 100%. So look at this already. That's why we look what was going on first. I showed you that Jupiter is hovering right on top of Sirius, and what do you have exactly where Jupiter is today? You are born with Venus in Gemini. So Jupiter, this is in the Titanic. This is Jack and Rose. Jack, Jupiter, and Venus Rose. So you are actually hovering with your Jupiter, with the man that you love at the moment in the Lovers. So you'll tell me afterwards, but that's already showing me that there is some kind of, you know, this is beautiful. Cyrus was the original keeper of the four corners of Persia. That's why they're attacking Iran and all this area now, because Jupiter is on that keeper of the four corners, which is basically just the four corners of our Brian, Iran, life of Brian brain. So amazing. You've got Venus right there. So Venus in Gemini. This is your values. What are your values? Your values are everything that is all about Gemini, which is all about communication. It's an air sign. It's intellectual. Your values are about playing with the children, being a teacher, being diplomatic. It's very... Gemini is immutable. It's the little butterfly. It's the messenger. He pollinates all the flowers. He's moving up and down, left to right. So your heart is in your direct environments, the people around you, keeping, just being aware of everything going on, observing and communicating, because you are this beautiful butterfly messenger. You have your sun. You have got your sun in Leo. So you really are a Leo. On that other chart, it says that you've got your sun at the end of Cancer. But Leo, actually, Leo, the sun enters Leo on the 10th of August. So when they'd say 8-8, the Lion Gates, it's actually the sun is always on the Little Prince, the past, the claw of Cancer. But for you, you are a magnificent Leo. And Leo is ruled by the sun. So To have the sun in Leo is one of the strongest, most beautiful places you can have the sun. You have come, so you know, you've got a wonderful ability with children. You're a big grown-up child. You've got all this playful energy of your Venus in Gemini. You may, you know, you're going to have children and love your children. You really are the big protective lioness, competitive, here to be a celebrity. You're a celebrity. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you are the life of that party. But basically, Leo has come to have social expression. That can be, you know, running a company. That can be as an artist. That can be looking after children, being an actor, whatever you can do to just shine and be the center of attention and be that warm sun. So you have a lovely sun in domicile. You have Mercury very visible. Doesn't look like he's retrograde at all. No. So you've got a nice healthy Mercury next to your moon. So you're born just after a new moon. There was a new moon. There was a new moon on the 13th of August. So that means for 1 month, the energy of Leo is incredibly strong, and you've actually got the moon still in Leo. 2 days later, it's still in Leo. I'm just going to stop the clock. I don't want to press the wrong button. So we'll go back to the 15th, and your time, 10, go back to 15. So your moon is in Leo as well, and it's just moving away, and the moon is next to Mercury, and Mercury rules where your heart is. Mercury rules Gemini. So there may be something to do with a sibling, a sister, a twin. Gemini is all about siblings, and Mercury rules Gemini. So there may be something about, you know, this is your mother, the moon, and this is your father. So you've got two very dramatic parents. Maybe this is showing a mother who moved away from the father with the children, you and a sister or something, and in your own life this is going to be showing just how protective you are of your brothers or sisters. Maybe you had to look after a sister. Maybe, you know, you had to protect a sibling. And it could also kind of affirm that you've got something, you really have something to do working with children or looking after your own children. Then you have got Jupiter also in the home of Mercury. Mercury rules Jack and Jill, and this is Jill. So Jack and Jill went up the hill. This is mutable air, where you've got Venus and you've got Jupiter in Virgo. So this is showing me Jupiter rules opposite Pisces, where we've got this big Venus conjunction. And so when Jupiter is in that sign opposite, he's not happy because he's the father to Mercury. So Jupiter is nothing in moderation, everything exaggerated, and Virgo is the little virgin girl. She wants to look after everybody. She's Cinderella. So because he's in detriment, a planet which is in the sign opposite what he rules, it means that he's dealing with a situation that he's not happy about, because Virgo is all about details. She's a little Miss Warrior. She's all about analytical thinking, and she worries, and she's material. She's mutable material. So she's only a teenager. She's between the ages of 17 and 21. So she has got that mutable bipolar energy. For the moment, this is bipolar energy, Venus. All the mutable signs are mutable energy. They are adapters. Leo is very fixed. It's a solid. This is liquid. So she too is mutable earth. She is Bridget Jones. So she can go from feeling, she has a routine. She wants to be Cinderella. She can then, you know, go very far in nice administrative jobs or being a healer. She is the holistic high priestess. She's come to deal with health, pets, animals. You know, you could also, you know, you're going to be really close to animals because both Leo and Virgo talk about pets, looking after your animals. You know, this is all animal stuff. So she is Snow White. She's Cinderella. She's now been turned into Lara Croft. She's doing lots of yoga because she's all health and yoga. And you are born with Pluto just moved into Virgo. So there is, you're the Rosemary Babies generation. You open the whole healing process. That's why today we have all these yogis, people doing yoga, doing link pilots. The generations after us, they took it further, but you guys were the first ones to do, hey, hang on, I don't want to be Cinderella anymore. I want to go out and make my own money and be self-sufficient and stop worrying. And I never wanted to get married in any case, because she never wanted to get married. She's just a virgin. So you guys change the whole unconscious collective, because Pluto is about slow transformative change, and you are this very strong generation of Pluto and Uranus, the subconscious and conscious mind in Virgo with Jupiter. So 2 years before you, in 1966, you'll have those girlfriends who are a few years older than you, who are, this is the whole thing of Absolutely Fabulous. You've got Edwina and Patsy, who've got Pluto and Uranus in Leo, show off, and this is Safi, the daughter, who doesn't want to be like her parents, who wants to be a socialist, and she wants to start doing things responsibly. But then you've got a bit of both. This is the Whore of Babylon, when Virgo rises as Aquarius falls onto the horizon. She will rise above the horizon and she will ride on the back of the lion. That's why at Buckingham Palace you've got all those girls on the back of the lions. This is showing that she's rising. She doesn't want to be Cinderella anymore. She's going to tame that beast, her carnal desires, and she's going to learn how to overcome this beast that wants to get fed, who's hungry, who's very sexually active. And that's the whole Absolutely Fabulous Staffy. And, you know, so you are a professional. You have come to tame those desires, to find your creative expression, because she's very skillful. You know, she can sew or have a talent or do anything that takes precise detail. You know, they can sometimes have very freaky hobbies, these Virgo girls, that nobody else has. So you're gonna have all the passion of Leo, and yet you will be taking immense time to be doing that properly, because she worries so much and she wants to do it right, whereas Leo is just all this expression, Picasso. And then we've got Virgo saying, no, we want to get this all precise. So Jupiter means that you're going to be good with your money, because you will have learned when you were young, you probably had to look after the other brothers and sisters. You probably had some kind of Cinderella role in the house where you somehow got a bit abused like Cinderella, or even if you weren't abused, you were being made to work. You had to work and, you know, make money and really learn about, because this is the Little Mermaid who sold her voice opposite in Pisces. And she came to Earth with legs, because she wanted to have the joys of the material, you know, the delights of the material joys of life. She wanted to come and kiss. She said that men love this Virgo girl. She's that ripe fruit. So we see that. We're going to move on. And you have got Mars on Antares, where the moon is right now. So we've got a double thing going on, where Jupiter is stationary right now. You have Venus, and where the moon is stationary, this is another fixed star. The fixed cross is currently today, we have Mars square to your Mars. So right now today we've got Mars on Fomalhaut. So there's Fomalhaut. You're born with Mars here. And today Mars is here on Fomalhaut. So there is a square going on. So there's some tension for you. We will get that. There's something going on with money. This is all about you. You have got Mars in Scorpio. So Scorpio, this is very obsessive. This is Scorpio's the life-death portal. This gives you psychic ability. This is a water sign. It's incredibly emotional. This is going to be making a square to, because the fixed cross is Aquarius opposite Leo, masculine, air, fire, and then feminine is Taurus, Scorpio. And they are the four evangelists. So Matthew, Aquarius, Mark, Leo, Scorpio, John, and Taurus, Luke. So we've got those going on. You've got your sun almost on Mark. And today we've got Mars on Matthew, and you're born with Mars on John. So there's something going on there, but we're now going to move to your chart because I have to remember I have to keep this to 45 minutes. So this is you. This is your chart. Your rising Virgo, your rising Cinderella. So, and the reason you're rising Cinderella is because you're born at 10:15 a.m. So you see, this is wrong. This is showing us that the sun is in Cancer. That's why I have to check on here, because that sun is actually officially just in Leo. So the sun rose in Leo on the horizon. Every month a new sign rises on the horizon as the signs are moving around the cardinal points, the equinox and the solstices. So you're in the morning, it depends, let's say between 7 and 9 in the morning, the sun and Leo would have been on the horizon, but you were born at 10:15, so a new sign had risen onto the horizon. That means that you're a Leo sun. You've got a beautiful sun in Leo. But your rising sign, your personality, because the first house is your personality, is Virgo. So very much this, she is prude or crude. She's grace or aghast. She's a little warrior. And you have got Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, in Leo. So you have a lot of this Leo. You've got this beautiful hair. You're the lioness, but you also have this, the beauty of this Cinderella, of this girl that is the ripest fruit. She is ready to be harvested. So she's quite vulnerable until she finds her power. And you had a huge job to find your power because you've got Pluto, Uranus, and Jupiter, and your moon all in the 12th house in Leo. You got a black moon. There was just a new moon in Leo just before you were born, and now the moon is next to Mercury. So the moon is very dramatic. Leo is a big drama queen. Leo is a big drama queen. So you've got moon in Leo next to how you communicate in Mercury. So you really are a lioness protecting your children, and you've come to be of service. This is the house of Pisces. Every house represents a sign. So the first house is Aries, I am. Second house is Taurus, I possess. Third house is the Gemini energy. Fourth house is the Cancer energy. Fifth house is always the Leo energy. Sixth house is the Virgo energy. And 12th house is the Pisces energy. So you've got a very strong Little Mermaid axis. And although you're all this Leo and Virgo, you've got this 12th house, which is the mysterious, transcending, the Pisces energy of where this great conjunction has just happened. So you've actually, there's the conjunction, there's Venus, Saturn and Neptune opposite your moon, Mercury. So this is a very intense time for you. It's on your wound. You've got Chiron in Pisces. You've got North Node in Aquarius, exactly where North Node has just moved on. You've just had your North Node return. So this is the gap. Here's Pisces, here's Aquarius, what we saw at the beginning. This is the Narnia gap. And you've got two signs in that Narnia gap. You've got Pisces ruled by Jupiter, Aquarius ruled by Saturn and Uranus. And you've got all the planets right here at the moment opposite most of your planets here. And at the top of your wheel, your MC, there's Jupiter right now on top of your Venus, opening your capstone. Look at this beautiful capstone. So your career, who you really are, is literally being, you know, the gates are open today. Jupiter is right there. He's been 4 months going retrograde over your MC. This is your door to your career. The 10th house is the Capricorn sign. It's the goat at the top of the mountain. So, and it's your heart. This is Jack and Rose that have come together on the cross on the front of the Titanic, opening your front door and activating your capstone. And at the same time, I told you, you see, here's Venus, Saturn, Neptune. They're making a capstone like yours, this little blue triangle, to Uranus and to Pluto. So there's a little capstone there, just like yours. So we've got a double capstone, one on your house of relationships, Pisces, and one on your house of career. And we've also got this 12th house, which is a very difficult house. I have all my planets only in the 12th house, occupying 3 signs. So I know all about this house, and you are therefore a professional of what most people will be finding very difficult, because this is going on in Pisces, this conjunction. But you've got Moon, South Node, the tail of your snake, Uranus, Jupiter, all in the 12th house, with Mercury opening that front door, the ruler of your 10th house as the South Node. You see, there's your South Node. So that's every 18 years. You've just closed an 18-year cycle. And you should be finding this incredible talent that you have. You should now be able to deal with this 12th house. This is the hardest house. This is where you either work in hospitals looking after people with mental issues. There's definitely some kind of care that you do, because this Virgo 6th house, 12th house Pisces is all about service to others, looking after people. So this is the nurse. This is the Cinderella. And because you've got this Venus in Gemini and all that Leo and Mercury that rules Gemini with your heart, there could be something about children. Maybe you look after children. Maybe it's just your own children. Maybe you know, there's certainly in your childhood, you had to do some looking after a brother or sister. You may have a twin. You may have lost a twin. You may have lost a parent. The 12th house is all about what we lose, people who, you know, who leave. This is where we leave this realm. So it's a very difficult realm. There may have been a lot of fear in your childhood. And also you've got Pisces on the 7th house, which is your partnerships, your relationships. So you may have been with people who are showing you just how hard that Pisces is, alcoholics or people with mental problems. So even your mother could have had mental problems. She could have been a bit, you know, just because you have to discover how to use your own planet. So the planets are the people in our lives, and you're going to discover them in the worst energy so that you can use it in the correct energy by discovering how scary that energy could be. So, you know, you're meant to come into the 6th house, to come out of codependency, 12th house, fear, escapism. You know, 12th house where we just can't deal with the world. We go and hide, we go and isolate. And you're being asked to overcome that with South Node in Leo, to not be so proud, to not want to have to look after everybody and be, you know, being the big heart. Leo is the heart, Aquarius is the head. So you have to come into your North Node to detach, to be self-sufficient. Aquarius is very detached, so they can be very cruel. And you've got Mars right on Antares, where the moon is today, in the 3rd house, which is normally the Gemini house. So this is definitely telling me something may have happened to your mother. She may have died when you were around that age, when you went to school. This is the third house, so this is when you first started going to school, but it's also showing that you're a communicator, you know, you're a healer. You could be into some kind of deep one-to-one therapy with people, because third house is that normally the Gemini house where we communicate. So the moon, because the moon is right there on Mars today, there's something maybe going on with money right now at the moment, some inheritance, something about your mother. Maybe there's definitely something about somebody who passed away. You've got your womb. So this big conjunction is not, yeah, it is. It's conjunct to your Chiron. And you had your Chiron return. You see at 49:51, we have our Chiron return. So that was some major change for you, but now you're going to get the comeback of however you dealt with that when you were 49. So maybe you had a health issue because you've got Chiron in the 6th house of health. Okay, so darling, over to you. Tell me what rings true, what is going on, what I've been talking about, and then we can look at the cards.
Yeah, you seem to get it pretty spot on. There was a couple of things I'm not too sure. I've still got my parents, and they're still together. And I had quite a good sort of upbringing. But the holistic healer, I've just recently graduated from the New School of Nutritional Medicine. So I really want to set my own business up now. And it's just having the courage to actually do it, because you know when you get to like in your 50s, I'm just thinking, oh my goodness. But it's I wish I'd done it sooner, but I suppose everything comes in divine timing, doesn't it? It's just and I suppose when I was about 51, 51, obviously that was the COVID age. So I had a massive awakening then, and I sort of realized exactly what I wanted to do with my life. So I've always been in alternative therapies. So I wanted to know how the human body worked and how it healed and how it was fixed. So that's what led us down the path to do nutritional medicine. So in functional testing and getting to the root cause of what's wrong with people. So that's the passion I've got now, and I'm quite obsessed with it. So I really want to get going this year. So that all sounds really, really good. So it's just giving us the confidence.
Amazing. So you will lack confidence. We didn't look at Saturn. So Saturn, who is the guy who takes over from age 50, you've got him in Aries, and Saturn is considered exalted in Libra, opposite. Libra's ruling your 2nd house of self-worth. The 8th house is the house of where you make money, and you do this deep kind of intensive one-to-one dealing with people. And Saturn is in Aries. So Aries is your basic I am. Aries is I am, I exist, the alpha male. And you've got Saturn. So Saturn is constriction, fear. And this is what you have to get over when you're 50. You have to move into the Saturn. So he's in that 8th house, which is very Scorpio energy. Scorpio is normally the 8th house, the life-death portal. So this is absolutely fantastic, because you will have your Saturn return when you're 59. So you've got another 3 years to 4 years. You've got about 4 years as Saturn moves through your 7th house of all this coming to your service. Saturn's come to open your service. You've just had your North Node in the 6th house of healing. This is the holistic. This is where you're meant to come. So you will have been looking after everybody else, sacrificing yourself, and now you're ready as Saturn is. So by the time you have your Saturn return, you will have really set off. This is all your whole rising, and your door to other people is healing. This Pisces is normally this 12th house here, so it's all about the nurse. This is Florence Nightingale. So, and then we've got Jupiter, who's been going backwards and forwards over your career door to activate your heart. So this is it. You're off. You're doing it. And this moon in Mars in Scorpio, Mars in Scorpio is literally, that's very often a surgeon, literally somebody who takes knives and opens people up, because Mars is knives and Scorpio is intense dissecting. Scorpio is where Mars rules Scorpio, so you've got a lovely domicile, and Mars rules Aries. So you're able, the difference is that Scorpio is where the leaves rot in autumn. They're pulled under the earth. This is passive passion. Mars is very active, but he's regenerating renewal. And Mars in Aries is outer aggression. So the fact that we've got the moon on Mars today is showing us that this is activated. You're able now to take that deep, intense one-to-one focus that you so want, but because Saturn is in the 8th house, which is normally Scorpio, you've been afraid of your self-esteem, because Aries is your self-esteem, but now, you know, Saturn's going to move above the horizon in the next year, and then you've had what you've had, you know, nearly 15 years of him under the horizon. He's going to rise above the horizon and get you ready for your Saturn return. You've had the hardest thing ever, the Chiron return, your awakening. That was opposite your Uranus. So Uranus is sudden shock, your conscious mind. So that was why you had that awakening. But this conjunction is also where you had your Chiron return, awakening, and this is now, you've reaped what you sow. Venus, and you've got Venus in the 10th house, so you did the right thing, and now you're going to reap what you've sown. And but you know, you could take this healing to really you're literally going to make all your own potions. And this is Scorpio is very the doctor, the cabinet, and going so deep in one-to-one sessions with people, because it's in the 3rd house of the messenger as well. And you have a real talent. This 12th house, where you've got all these planets, and your south node is hidden talents and special gifts. So, and it's very, very psychic. So you're moving away from being Cinderella and being this proud lion, but also sacrificing yourself and looking after your own children. You have children.
Yes.
How many do you have?
I've got 2 boys, but they're in their 20s now, but they're still at home, and I still look after them.
Yeah. So you were a big teacher for them. You taught, you know, they taught you a lot, and this was all this period of your life, and now you're braving it out into this 6th house of finding your work. This is the house of your work. This is your Cinderella house, and here we've got the sun right now on your north node, and the sun rules Leo, where you have the sun. So okay, we're going to have a little breather. I'm going to pause the video.
Okay.
We're already at 42, but it's no problem. We're going to do this properly. And so just get a cup of tea, and then we're going to come back and do your cards.
Okay, amazing. Thank you.
See you in a second, darling. Again, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
What about sisters?
Yes, I've got a sister that she's nearly 12 years younger than me, so I did look after her when she was younger. And we actually look, well, when people see us out together now, we actually look like twins. So
amazing.
That's
yeah,
the connection there.
You can see her up here, this Venus in Gemini, and so I say sister because Venus just is sister, and then the moon next to Mercury also, but it's showing the mothering. So you've got a lot of your mothering style from looking after your little sister, and this is part of your talent as well, because the moon's in the 12th house. The moon today is on Mars. So is there anything going on with your sister right now? Is there any kind of money or health, or what's going on with your sister at the moment?
She's got a health issue at the minute going on. So it might be that.
Yeah. So Scorpio rules the sexual organs. And we got Uranus opposite in. So yeah, Scorpio Scorpio rules the sex. So, and basically, any kind of just you could help heal her in part of everything you've learned. So it's important what you're healing your sister will be really activating your gifts.
I would love to do that, but sometimes she's not open to it.
Right,
I don't know
right.
why, but it drives us mad.
You're right, yeah. Well, this is the thing about Scorpio. Scorpio is fixed water, so it's frozen. And that film, Frozen, the Disney film, is really about having all this power, and it's how she turns everything into ice. My daughter told me to watch that film, otherwise I don't really ever watch films. And I knew when I saw that film that it was talking about the power of Scorpio. So if she's frozen herself and her heart hasn't melted, then she will be cynical and not, Scorpio doesn't trust. So in
Hmm.
this third house, it's just showing she doesn't trust you.
Oh,
Or she
wow.
doesn't trust herself, you know what I mean? She doesn't
Yes.
trust.
She doesn't
Yeah.
like change. She doesn't like changing habits and things like that. But
Okay.
one day, hopefully.
Yeah. So this is very quick flash. So we are just going to do 3 cards, but these 3 cards are, in a way, they will also be pointing to 3 parts of your life, but they will also be showing us now, this reading and where you were, where you are now, and where you're heading to.
Yeah.
Okay. You really do have a big calling. Just most of your planets are in that 12th house and the 10th house of your career. And so you may even, there could be writing in it, any kind of real communication, but really you could work for for a school or for some government. You could work for a social, something run by the government, so social, anything which is run. You could work in institute hospitals, or the work that you do, you could get a lot of work from socially run stuff, governments, just because the 10th house.
I would like to do that actually, but I just don't know if the NHS would actually have like someone who wants to heal people naturally without
Well, you
pharmaceuticals.
guys are here to do that. You're going to open it, so you set up your own company, do your own
Hmm.
thing, but you will little by little be able to, maybe part of your job and your role is to start entering schools or something like that, just because Mercury is school and you've got Mercury, Gemini right on that 10th house, which is run by the government. So you might be of that character and ability to just be so charming and go places where we haven't been able to go before.
Amazing. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so first card is going to be where you're at right now,
Yeah.
in the middle. For Louise. Louise. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to put that card on the left, that card in the middle, and then where you're going. Ooh. So let's have a look at right now. Wow, okay. Ace of Pentacles, opportunity, money. This is it. You are This is where you're at now. So it's very earthy. So you are on the right side of Saturn. We've got Saturn right now next to Venus, money. So, you know, this is Ace is very Pluto energy, and Saturn is right opposite. It's opposite your Pluto. So if you can imagine just the intensity, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, luck, Jupiter, although Jupiter is, you know, this is Earth. So you're really activating your Uranus, Pluto, Jupiter. This is Earth signs. So Pentacles is Earth. It's material, it's money, and you've got the Ace of Pentacles. So, you know, I very rarely pull that card. That is really, and that is the 5-pointed star of Venus. So Ace of Pentacles, opportunity, wow-wee, and Saturn is doing that. So Venus is exalted, and this is on your wounds. That was your awakening, and now Chiron has moved on, but we've got Venus, Saturn, and Neptune for this reading today, bang opposite. So this is it. You found. You really have found what you came here to do. The cards are telling us this is amazing. I mean, wow,
Oh, I love it.
I think we're gonna have so yeah, this is Pluto. This is really deep. So this is, you know, this is Pluto in Capricorn energy. This is, you've got Venus in the 10th house. Capricorn is the 10th house, your career, and Jupiter is there right now. You know, he's right there on your Venus, and we've got Jupiter opposite Venus at the moment as well. So this is, you know, this is where you have to step into your isolated power. This is where there's no more, you know, this is very not childish, but this is where you were in a past life, just this big heart, this big Cinderella, looking after everyone, and now you're stepping into the home of the true God. You've got North Node on Formerholt right in that gap. Remember, I showed you the sun today was right here. Well, that's where you've got your North Node. So this is really where we're going. This is the world between worlds, and this is see, Jupiter rules Pisces and Sagittarius. This is I believe, I see. This is, you know, religion and spirituality, but this is I know. This is where you don't care what people think anymore. I've got a lot of that Aquarius energy. It's detached. You know, you don't care anymore. You don't care what people think. You just get into your job and you get into your work, and it's ruled by Saturn. So you're able to step into that power now.
Amazing.
So Ace of Pentacles. Yep. So isolated power. Okay, we're going to have a quick look just to really show you Ace of Pentacles. Let's look at Biddy. Ace of Pentacles. Oh. Project all. Okay, upright. A new financial or career opportunity, manifestation, abundance. Okay, so you can go and see as much as you want about Ace of Pentacles, but this is it. This is fantastic. The Ace of Pentacles depicts a hand emerging from the clouds, much like the aces of the other suits. A large coin sits in the cupped palm, freely available to whoever has the wherewithal to take it. It is as if a new opportunity associated with wealth, business, and manifestation has appeared out of nowhere and is now being extended to you in all its glory. The impetus is now on you to accept this offer and turn it into something meaningful and sustainable. So this is it. This is Venus, and Saturn is authentic. This is the true gods. And where do you have Saturn? You've got Saturn in Aries, ruled by Mars. So, you know, you have lacked self-esteem. There's, you know, these are people who really look up to, they really want to be that big, brave alpha male, but they've just been sheepy. But this is it. You can take on your Saturn now. The landscape in this card is lush and abounding, a garden brimming with green grass and white lilies. A small path leads to an archway wrapped in beautiful foliage and flowers, and beyond the arch, mountain peaks soar in the horizon. This verdant imagery signals that the time is right to move forward with your career and financial ambitions. While it will require hard work and determination, scaling mountains is no easy task. You've got your Venus right at the top of that mountain. That's what I said, the goat. The Ace of Pentacles encourages you to make the most of this opportunity while it's in its most abundant state. Okay, wowee. I mean, this is what, you see, I'm an astrologer, but the cards always confirm, always. This is it. And you've got your sun in the 11th house, which is the Aquarius house. It's where you make your dreams come true. It's where you use group contribution. You come here to help the group, to lead the team, and to be an innovation. It's all about innovation, forward thinking. Aquarius is think way ahead of the others. Believe in your dreams, believe in your intuition. You've got it. So what was going on before and in your youth, you know, your past life? Okay, 5 of Cups, regret, sad, mourn, grief. So you've kind of had a difficult journey. You know, this is very basic. We're just looking at 3 cards. This is just a basic energy, but this is kind of showing that that 5 energy, 5 of Cups, this is water energy, and you've got Mars in Scorpio. Oh, my dog's barking. I need to go and play football. I've already played a lot of football. So this is Mars in Cancer energy, troubles. This card shows the most difficult and painful of human experiences, which are, as opposed to the 10 of Cups, of one's own making. Could a reader ask for a better definition of disaster than these 2 cards side by side? Let me just have Honey. Honey, va mon travail. Tu arrêtes. She's very old and a bit sick.
Oh.
And she just jumps the gun and thinks that it's time to play again. Okay.
Oh.
So, for good or bad, the group assumes more importance than the individual. The person's self-perception is primarily in terms of service to a group. So this is what I mean. This is the group house where you have your sun. You spent all your life, it's your south node, perfecting your past life, being of service, looking after your sister, looking after your children. And it's, you know, this is what Saturn does. He tests you. But now you're moving on. You're moving on. You're moving over here. This card may show a phase like that of teens needing peer support. And as the individual... No, I moved on to 6 of Cups. Okay, no. There may be a scandal of the worst kind and events creating great indecision about what to do. Self-determination is lost. A person becomes subject to the influence and whims of others. Exactly what I said. There is a risk of drowning, scalding, or poisons in food. So that's very much this 12th house. 12th house is poison. It's, you know, this was the whole COVID was this axis. This is Corona, 6th house. And this is COVID, 12th house. This is hospitals where everyone was dying. And so, you know, it was to get people out of their sacrificial self-sabotage energy and to get people, you know, back to the tangible, back into their own self-sufficiency over here. There is a risk of drowning, scalding, or poisons in food. All of this may be the result of an unconscious and masochistic desire for negative experience, punishment, which could perhaps be indicated in the 5 of Cups. So, interesting. So it says in the upper left cell of the spread. So this is very much... So that 12th house is the hardest house. You won't even be aware of it, because you're born with Chiron in Pisces, And all of us, I have Chiron in Pisces, we all just think that it's normal to self-sacrifice and look after other people. We really do. So you can go and read about it. You'll need to go and look up Chiron in Pisces and also look up Chiron in the 6th house, because both will talk, but you're now hitting your service. The true way of using Chiron in Pisces is about getting self-sufficiency. So interesting. That's very much that. And what's coming in the future? Okay, we have got the Page of Cups, the Spirit Child's intuition. So another water energy, which for me is this over here. You're coming over to your Pisces. This is it here, but the card is reversed. So the Page of Cups, the Charming Sun. We're going to look at Biddy again for it. We want to have a look at Biddy. Page of Cups, Biddy. So I want to see her reversed way. Okay, so upright, creative opportunities, intuitive messages, curiosity, possibility. Reversed, new ideas, doubting intuition, creative blocks, emotional immaturity. Okay, so this is a little bit what you want to be careful of. You are so intuitive. I mean, you've only got 12th house like me. You've got your main thing in the 12th house. But for some reason, you doubt it. And this is just going to be your Saturn in Aries. And you will, so you probably, you know, life, Saturn, when you have your Saturn return, there will be another big change in your, you know, it will be this, it's always this, and you've still got Chiron. Chiron will enter Aries. Chiron was already in Aries, and Chiron hasn't been in Aries since 1977. So this is the end of a big cycle. Pisces is endings, and on the 25th of March, he will be fully back, and this is your door of death and rebirth. So you probably have a period of time. Chiron will pass through here. Uranus has been in your 8th house preparing you. He's been going backwards and forwards, getting ready to open your 9th door, which is ruled by Venus, of your higher mind, studying, learning. You've been learning. So he's been going backwards and forward to open that door. So you've just still got to deal a little bit with Saturn, and that's all it means. That's why that card is just reversed. But basically, it's just showing there's still a little bit of hesitation. Look, it's all about intuition. It's the Page of Cups. So it's good that we saw that, because you can go and look all about the Page of Cups and really focus on getting it upright. The Page of Cups wears a blue tunic with a floral print and a berry on his head with a long flowing scarf. He stands on the shore with the wavy sea behind him, so that's Pisces. It's the wavy sea, mutable water, holding a cup in his right hand. Surprisingly, a fish pops its head out of the cup and looks at the young man. The fish and the sea behind him represent the element of water and all things to do with creativity, intuition, feelings and emotions. The unexpected appearance of the fish signifies that creative inspiration often comes out of the blue and only when you're open to it. So Aries, I always say my son is just so Aries, that alpha male, and he's so creative. He's a musician, an artist, and he teaches French to have, but this is what I call, you know, if you ever see an artist, artists are completely selfish and they completely believe in themselves and they just get on with their thing, and so you actually have that power. But Saturn is just, you just have to, this wound will come, and in about 2 years, you will really feel the wound, which is going to prepare you. He's preparing the ground so that you do your Saturn return properly. And there will therefore be things that have to be eliminated, things that will be lost, some kind of awakening to your intuitive power. So at the moment you're focusing on the material, getting this work done, and little by little, I started my astrology at 50. So, you know, I tapped into my power because I've got this 12th house like you, and I just didn't, I was doing people's charts all my life, but it took me a long time to believe in my intuition. So that's all. They're showing us just that there's a little hesitation, and you'll be
Absolutely.
on your way. But you know, that's the joy, that's the beauty of these wheels. Things can't happen to us until we're absolutely ready, and there's always those little triggers that get it going.
Amazing.
So are you feeling good about this?
Definitely. It's just confirmed everything sort of that's been going through my mind, and I've actually been trying to manifest, putting things together, getting a little manifestation board going, just to sort of help move things on. So do you think there's a good time to sort of launch my business?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I can't tell you. And if you do all this, you know, it's about being absolutely sure of where you're going and then doing the groundwork to get there. But look, I mean, you've got Jupiter. This is the benevolent, the luckiest planet on the wheel. On the top, you've got Sirius, who's a big sergeant major, right at the top of your wheel today on your peak, as the peak is forming. So you really, so there's tension. There's a big square here between Venus, but that's okay. That's what gives you drive. This is what gives you drive. And you can listen to this reading again, but you're there. So Mercury is still retrograde in the abyss. He's retrograde, so Jupiter moves forward today, and Mercury will move forward in the next 2 weeks. And by the 25th of March, all this that you're putting together, building, getting all your manifestation, this is the time to manifest. You'll be off. So just take your time every morning. You write 8 things that you are grateful for in the future, and you put big smiley faces and you get really excited about it, and you do that every morning and every night. And it, you know, I've been manifesting all my life, but then we all get stuck in places where we stop believing in ourselves and we get afraid again. And you will be feeling Saturn coming up. Your last Saturn return will have been at 29. So you've got a big thing going on. You've had an 18-year cycle ending, and you're coming up to in the next few years, you'll come to another one in Saturn. I'll just stop that, because that's... So, darling, let me know how things go. Thank you for being so brave. I won't be putting this on YouTube. I will be putting this on Patreon for my private paid members. I'll just put a teaser onto YouTube, and I will send you a private copy, your own. I'll send you a YouTube, but it will be, it's not public. It's, you know, what's it called again when I put it up? I upload it just for unlisted. That's it.
Oh, it's been amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Well, you have a beautiful, lovely energy, and just hold this down, and you're made for it. You know, you are here to be of service, and your special talents, this conjunction is right now in your 6th house of work. It's on the wound, so it's very painful. Go and read about Chiron in Pisces, Chiron in the 6th house, and that will give you a deeper understanding of that pain. And also Saturn in the 8th house. You've got no planets on the right hand side of the charts, and you've got all your planets only in the 12th, just Venus in the 10th house and 10th in the 11th. So you're very evolved, very evolved. This is, you know, the end of the wheel. Career, dreams, spiritual transcendence. You've just got Mars in the 3rd house of communication, and then you've got all this area. You're kind of, you know, you're so sensitive. you've got fear almost of dealing with other people, and this is the Pisces, but this is it. Saturn is there to activate you. He's coming out from under the horizon. He's going to rise above. Yeah, it's really, really great, darling. So everything is in there. Thank you for your trust.
Oh, thank you so much. I've loved every minute.
Oh, thank you, Louise. Sending lots of love.
Oh, thanks, Victoria. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, darling.
Bye. Bye.